key one which we are involved in active talks with the authorities here about, the key individual project is participation in the Lima to Metro development, which is of course a huge project and has many other participants. But we are actively talking to the authorities here about ways in which we can involve ourselves in that. So that's a sort of single project. But I should also mention that there are other funds in which we participate, collective investments, which undertake activities here in Peru. And a good example of that is it's a thing called the Althelia Fund, which you may or may not have heard of, which is investing in sustainable forestry development. The amount in the Althelia Fund is of the order of 25 million euros. So I'm doing a quick translation in my head. That's what, $33 million. The amount which we're talking to the authorities about, as far as the metro is concerned, it's of the order of 125 million euros or dollars. Euro. So again, that's $140 million. Absolutely. But I mean, this is a first step. This one here, which we're talking about. If other projects were to follow, we would be very happy to be involved in those. I mean, we see long-term investment is what institutions like mine are there for, in a way. We're able to borrow for very long periods of time at relatively low rates because we're a AAA rated institution. And we have an obligation to pass on all the benefit of that cheap borrowing to the lender. So this is, I mean, multilateral institutions generally do this, but we are one which does that too. So we have a long-term appetite, both in terms of borrowing and in terms of lending. And if there are other good investments around, we'd certainly be very, very keen to participate in that. It's the last chance for a big multilateral conference before Paris, which is at the end of the stage. So we really do need to be sure that at the end of this couple of weeks we have made the parties, and I should say, of course, as I said, we're not a party, we're an observer, but we would very much hope that the parties will have moved to an agreement which will ensure that the ground is laid for reaching a final agreement at the end of next year. So it's a very important conference, but I'm very positive about the results.